interactions between humans and animals, including one incident involving a 4-year-old boy in Texas who was hospitalized after being mauled by a pet mountain lion kept by his aunt. In addition, the Travis the chimp incident of 2009 shocked many people in the United States, in which a Connecticut woman lost both of her hands and parts of her face due to an attack by her friend's chimpanzee. The CBS News reported that the chimpanzee continued eating the woman's torn-off hands until the police reported to the scene. Pet primates, big cats, and reptiles have displayed aggression and have seriously injured their guardians, as well as unsuspecting neighbors and their pets. I propose captivating wildlife animals as pets is problematic for the well-being of the animals and the public safety and health. I propose that all states establish a law to inhibit ownership of exotic animals and also require licensure and background check of all prospective guardians. To support this proposal, I will first prove that exotic or wildlife animals are unsuited for family pets, explain the proposed plan, and present that the benefits of this policy greatly outweigh its relative costs. Lack of knowledge in the nature of exotic animals by their guardians puts major risks for public safety. The aggressive behaviors of most of these animals develop in forms of crying, hitting, and biting, which can be fatal to humans when they come in contact with them. Incidences of strangulations and bites are common for pet reptiles, according to University of Florida. The transmittable and potentially fatal pathogens carried by these wild animals pose great threats to the public health. Zoonotic diseases are communicable and can be fatal to humans. The Center for Disease Control provided vast number of data on the pathogens that are carried by the wild animals and that can be transmittable and potentially fatal to humans. And these include herpes B virus, monkeypox virus, and salmonella, which are otherwise harmless to the animals themselves. Additionally, the Paw Nation estimates that 93,000 salmonella cases caused by exposure to reptiles are reported each year in the United States. The last problem is that captivating these animals away from their natural habitats is considered an inhumane treatment of these animals. According to the Humane Society, many exotic pet owners end up turning in their pets into other institutions such as sanctuaries to take over the responsibility. As a result, the majority of these animals end up being euthanized or abandoned. In order to buffer such negative results, policies must intervene to halt the issues of occurring problems pertaining to the ownership of exotic animals. I propose that a federal law be established to regulate all states to inhibiting private possession of these wildlife animals. Currently, of the 50 states, 30 states have a partial ban on ownership of exotic animals. Some states allow ownership of certain exotic animals, while others require license or permits to own certain types of wild animals. In order to equalize the varying requirements established by different states, the federal law will restrict the types of animals that can be owned by individuals under strict regulations. Each state, depending on the climate and environment, will be prohibited to owning some types of exotic animals. This will enhance public safety that may otherwise be of great risk if these animals are purchased and captivated without any barriers. Each state should further restrict the ownership of exotic animals by requiring the prospective guardians to getting licensure before purchasing these animals. The education and licensing policy will be operated by the government. It will also be funded by the government and through donations made by non-profit organizations. The employees, in addition, will have full credentials in their knowledge of these exotic animals, and they will receive trainings to be able to effectively raise awareness of these issues, such as public safety and health behind owning these animals. All prospective guardians after having received education, will be mandated to pass the test for license on 2 levels: knowledge of the wildlife animal and personal background check. Handling and financing for the care of exotic animals are tough and they require special care, housing, diet, and maintenance that the average person cannot provide. Therefore, education and background check of prospective owners will decrease the potential of future abandonment of these animals. Furthermore, these expenses spent by the prospective owners to receiving the license will be used entirely for the program centers. The money will be used for the education of the employees and for the facility maintenance. If such policies are implemented, what changes do we expect to see? The establishment of the law by the government will make private possession of these animals more difficult. The law will decrease the potential risks of public health and safety. By implementing the law, incidence and prevalence of rates of these zoonotic diseases will be at minimum, and public safety regarding wildlife animals will be low. Public safety concerns regarding wildlife animals will be low. On a state level, the further mandated licensing and background check of all prospective guardians will also increase awareness of the different natures of the exotic animals, thus decreasing the rate of wildlife abandonment. It will also save tremendous amount of money that is currently being used to support sanctuaries that take care of these exotic animals. The out-of-pocket expenses spent by prospective owners will aid them in receiving better education of these animals. Education will further encourage positive treatment of these animals, and it will enable the prospective owners to take better care of these exotic animals. Implementing the aforementioned proposals will be more beneficial than harmful for the long run. The benefits of my proposals will greatly outweigh the cost. Few may argue that the law will restrict an individual's freedom of choice. However, ethical and moral concerns of enabling the spreading of diseases, endangering public safety, and threatening animals' well-being arguably outweigh the potential cost of not being able to own these exotic animals. By requiring all owners to have a license, the state will also experience financial relief. The sanctuaries filled with abandoned wild animals cost the state significant amount of money because these animals require special care, housing, diet, and maintenance that are different from domesticated pets. According to the Forever Wild Exotic Animal Sanctuary, the total monthly cost of running the facility is around $10,000. Therefore, mandating all prospective guardians to receiving license before purchasing these exotic animals of their choice will dramatically diminish the rate of wild animal abandonment, which will lessen the financial burden of running the sanctuaries. The result of my proposal will greatly benefit the wildlife animals, the prospective owners, the state, and the nation as a whole. By their very nature, exotic animals do not adjust to the captive environments. In addition, public safety and health are concerns with owning these animals. My proposals of establishing federal law to inhibit private possessions of these wild animals and mandating licensure and background check of all prospective owners will decrease the problems that are caused by these animals. The benefits of implementing the proposals I have presented outweigh the relatively few costs. The possible spreading of zoonotic diseases and incidences of violent attacks will decrease significantly. Costs associated with maintaining sanctuaries for the abandoned animals will also drop, which will relieve many states of financial burdens. It will also improve the care of wildlife animals, and therefore these policies will prevent future problems, scoping possible health, public, and animal abandonment incidences.